Crabman from Crabman Gaming here, and today we are playing Cricket Captain 2020, the Australia save, and this is part 13, which is 2 test matches against South Africa. Just one more part to go after this, which is the third test against South Africa, and then 3 T20s against New Zealand. If you tuned in yesterday, it was a very interesting one-day international series. New Zealand were very, very strong and a very difficult for the Australians. So now the Australians are off to South Africa for 3 test matches. So that should be very exciting. It is the strongest format. So we can pick 18 players. So I'm probably not going to leave anybody out of the squad, but it really gives me an opportunity to add to the squad. Let's have a look if there's anyone. We'll get Ashton Agar in. Played a little bit earlier on. Anyone last year? Gee, we did leave Matty Wade out early on, but yeah, I think he's past his prime, so just 27 with the bat for Matty Wade, so didn't really give him much of a look in. Yeah, same for Pattinson, he's not doing too well. Mitchell Marsh, need to have around the team. Gee, hasn't played barely at all. It's not going to matter too much because a lot of these players aren't actually going to play, so I'll just try and pick some people quickly who I think would be good. I think Cam Green should be in and around the squad. We might see if we can give him a game in the third test if we're up 2-0. And let's have a look at somebody who's done a good job this year. Cam Bancroft at 40. There's no one really screaming out for test selection. Let's have a look at the bowlers. We need 3 more people. Gee, Sean Abbott, 82 wickets at 23. Very unlikely to play, but let's get him in. Everyone else in the 30s. Gabe Bell, Daniel Warwick for the Ashes, Steckety. Let's see if we can get another spinner as well. Look at this. All, apart from Lyon, all seam bowlers. Gee, the spinners have literally taken nothing. 10 for John Holland, that's about it. 7 for Maxwell. Where's what's his name? Where's Leggy? So where's Zampa? I don't think Zampa's even played. Let's see if Zampa's here somewhere. Has he played any first class cricket this year? Oh, none. Didn't even get a game. So very hard to pick him in the test squad if he's not playing first class cricket. We need 2 more people. Let's see if we got another all-rounder. It's kind of hard when you get out to 18 players because there's people you're not going to pick. Let's get James Pattinson in the squad. He's done well, and then maybe where did Pekovsky go? He was looking pretty good. Kawaja's pretty much done. Not bad from Curtis. Let's get Pekovsky in the squad. He won't play, but oh no, did I pick someone who I really wanted to pick? No, I've forgotten someone, so I get Pekovsky out. I actually wanted Philippi in. I know Carey's got a stronger average. Let's go to the T20 internationals. Let's find where he's got to. Where's Philippi? How's he gone this year? He's only played twice because he plays for WA, so that's not great. So what we'll do instead then is let's get Carey in the squad as the second keeper. Might give him a match or 2 in the third test. Really no one kicking the door down for selection. Here we go. It's probably going to be the same team that I'm always looking at, the top 5 with Maxwell, and then the bowling lineup of Stark, Cummins, Lyon and Hazelwood. Although, I might get Cam Green in. Done well this year. 40 bowling, 16 batting. Maxwell, 35. It's okay, but he's just taken the 1 wicket. It might depend on what the pitch says. If it's a seam bowling pitch, Cam Green might get a debut as well. Joe Burns is looking tired, as is Green. Do you know what? Let's give him... these bowlers are out of form. No, let's leave it like that. But let's give Big Green a... Do you know what? I'm just going to pick Carey. It's the last few test matches of the series. Tim Payne, you've done your country well. 39 test matches, 31. Batting has been pretty average. He did get a good 78 against India. Let's go for it. All right, we're in South Africa, so we don't have any control over the pitch. Let's see the South African squad quickly. Here we go. Janneman Milan, Rassie van der Dusen. I'll go pick them. Let's see how well I can go with the Dutch names. Let's go for 2 debutants. I actually really like this team. Let's have a look at the conditions. Oh, a little bit for the seamers. Warner, Burns, Labuschagne, Smith, Head, Green, Carey. Let's bat him at 6. What does it say here? First class number 5. Yeah, great. Carey, Stark, Cummins. Always like opening with Hazelwood though. Lyon. That looks good to me. Let's begin. Let's go through Australia. Let's go through the South African lineup. It is Janneman Milan to open the batting with Rolofson. I don't know his first name there. You've got Rassie van der Dusen at 3. Temba Bavuma, who's been touted as being the next captain despite only having 1 Test 100, at 4. Richards, I don't really know him, at 5. De Swart at 6. Wian Mulder at 7. I believe it's Nautier, but I could be wrong. I always get this one wrong. I always hear it on TV, and I'm like, yeah, it's wrong. I'm going to go with Nautier, but I'm probably wrong. Kahiza Rabada, the leader of the attack. Bjorn Hendricks, a good pace bowler as well, and Nidhi round out the 11. It's a pace bowling assault from South Africa. You don't really expect too much different from them. We've won the toss. Let's bat. We'll do highlights for the first 10. Can we get back to winning ways, as we lost the last test against India, won the Indian ODI series, and then lost the New Zealand ODI series. So form has been a bit up and down. Let's see. Rabada, look at that bowling average, just 23. Again, let me know in the comments after part 14 if you'd like me to do all-time India or an England 11, or current Indian test team versus rest of the world. Or I could even have 2 rest of the world sides if you want rest of the world A versus B. Maybe you could have subcontinent versus the rest of the world. They generally have done that before in those kind of encounters. Very steady start. Nautier gets lifted over mid-off. Very tidy from Australia. Alright. Burns average 46. Warner wants to average over 50. Oh, retired, hurt. Let's put chances on, at least for the first part. Longy and Geedy, he's got a short ball. Well, that's David Warner gone for the series. Out for 2 weeks with a fracture, so that'll open the door for somebody else to come in. I don't really think I picked a reserve opener, like perhaps a Bancroft or a Harris or somebody. So we'll have to see who comes into the team. Maybe Nick Maddinson. He's been waiting in the wings for another opportunity. All right, in comes Labuschagne. He's average 59. Just dipped a little bit of form in the Indian series. Here we go. Still haven't technically lost a wicket. I don't know why I haven't put it on the bowlers. But Burns 44, Labuschagne 22. Everyone's had a bit of a bowl. I'm pretty sure these 5 are all pace bowlers. There's Ngidi, Hendricks, left medium fast, Nautier fast, yeah. Vian Mulder, fast medium, and Ruam De Swart. Haven't really heard of him, even though he's played 5 tests all this year in the game. He's someone new. Bringing to my attention. Very good batter, 62. Average, 35 with the ball. You'd take that. And who else is in the lineup? Who else didn't I know? Oh, Josh Richards is a young fella here in his second test match. So don't really know much about him either. All right, none for 84. Any rain? Nope. It's not been much rain in these, in the 13 parts, apart from the 2020 World Cup, which I asked for rain, and it pretty much ruined my World Cup. But anyway, I can have another go at the T20 World Cup with, is it no ball, with India. So I'm looking forward to perhaps winning that World Cup. I would like to. I tend to get to the end of tournaments. If you've watched my 100 tournament or my IPL tournament, I always seem to do well, and then it gets to the final stages and my team tends to choke. So we're just batting along very slowly here. Nothing very exciting. But I always find at the start, still no wickets down, at the start of a test series, especially if it's 3 or 4 or 5 tests, you want to wear down the bowlers and get some form for your batsmen. So it's better, I feel, to bat a little bit more slowly. And, well, that's out. There's their first wicket. Rabada has bowled Labuschagne for 51. And just to wear out the bowlers as well, so they go into the next test a little bit more tired. A cotton bowled Nortje for 86. Alright, now we need to knuckle down. Some quick wickets lost. Smith and Head. Oh dear. Oh, inside edge. I get nervous when I just put on wickets and chances and not fours. Oh, Travis Head, he's batting aggressively. Sometimes if you're feeling it, you can just go ahead, but he's plum LB to Hendricks, 3 for 205. But we have lost Warner as well. It always, in the game, it's kind of like a double wicket. There is no there's no substitution rule yet, although that is only for concussion. So maybe it's not really a feature that I'm hanging out for in the game. I did you may not remember, but it was around 2005-06 when in one day internationals they had the substitute rule, and I really wanted that brought into Cricket Captain because I thought that would have been really entertaining as we just round out the day, where you in a one day you picked 12 and you could substitute someone in at any stage of the batting or bowling innings. So I thought that would have been really exciting to do tactically, but it was only in place for about then by the time I think it was implemented just as a release was coming, and then by the time I think 2006 came out, the super sub idea had been was finished. So sadly that never came into the game. Would like to see some super overs though. That's something I think would really help the game. No more ties in 2020s. Green. Oh, I forgot to talk about Green on his debut. Gee, what's my computer doing? Struggling with this game. Green's made 23 on debut. Now Carey also on debut. First class average of 35. Just one stumping. They must not play a lot of spinners in South Australia. In fact, they do not. Alright, Nortje to Carey on debut. Snicked one, he's gone for just 8, so that's a bit disappointing. We're only 268. Steve Smith's going to need to lead the attack. Stark, that's outside the line. Oh, that's snicked. Smith's gone for 51. Yeah, so good fight back here from South Africa. Hopefully the tail can wag a little bit. That's down leg side. Stark's having a lot of chances. Don't need to rush too much. These can chip in, maybe push it close to the 350 mark. And Stark a lot of playing and missing. Yeah, get a bit more. Oh, I was nervous then. I thought he was about to give him. So interestingly, in this England versus West Indies series, they are using English umpires, so it's the first time they've used a non-neutral umpire for a long time. Stark's plum LBW runs out of luck. So what the ICC decided to do was give each side 3 referrals each. So that's plum. I wouldn't even bother referring that. That's hitting middle right there. Oh, it is middle and leg. So interesting. And I think that once everything has calmed down, that perhaps they could go back to having 1 local umpire, 1 overseas umpire, giving the teams 3 referrals each, and it would just allow those umpires to actually umpire in their own country. I know that's an excellent catch at leg slip. I haven't seen that very often. Rabada to Hazelwood is an absolute classic from Temba Bavuma. Had an excellent run out of David Warner a few years back in Australia. If you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. Bavuma run out of Dave Warner. It's incredible. Yeah, I think it might lead the way for neutral umpires to come back, but perhaps give every side an extra review. I think that would be fair. And plus, like if I was an umpire, I would want to umpire an Australian test. I think I'd feel a bit sad, I think, if I was an international umpire and they said you couldn't umpire, at all in your home country unless it was two neutrals, which only really happens in one days when Australia have hosted tri-series in the past, but they don't really seem to have those anymore. All right, lunch on day 2. There was the Australian innings, by the way. I kind of glossed over it. Burns was the star, 86. 51s each for the best friends, Labuschagne and Smith, and contributions for the rest. 5 for Nautier, 3 for Rabada. I do apologise if I'm getting his name wrong. Okay, Hazelwood and Stark are going to open the bowling. I'll just keep the highlights on for a little while. No wickets down. Okay, get Pat Cummins on, and then I might get the debutant on, Chris Green. He's just 21 years of age. Good to see him. Oh, look at that. Quite high in the one day in Big Bash, but his first class form is very good. Let's see what he can do. Oh, he's been smashed first over by Yanaman Milan. That's a pretty cool name. It just rolls off the tongue. Second over. Caught and bowled. First test wicket for Chris Green. Not Chris Green, Cameron Green. I was just thinking, don't get those two mixed up. Chris Green is the off spinner who plays for the Sydney Thunder and Guyana Amazon Warriors and some T20 leagues around the world. Bowls right arm off spin. Cam Green is the big, tall, nearly 2 metre bowler from Western Australia. He's got a wicket. First 2 overs, he's been smashed for 5 fours, but he's got a test wicket, so he come in. Here he is to Rolifson. Oh, he's been expensive, but he did pick up a wicket. All right. I'm going to concentrate here as well. This is just 1 for 100, and then we don't have David Warner for the second innings. So generally your teams will get better as you go. I've always found playing cricket captain, Russie van der Dussen is out there, caught by the sub. Wonder who's come on as the sub. Maybe Nick Maddinson, good pair of hands. Junior team get a bit better. I seem to have been getting a little bit worse as these series have been going on. As there's a shell at first slip. Pretty disappointing. Who's there? Oh, Steve Smith. Standing next to the sub. Man, that's good. Coming on, being second slip. Not having to run around. Very fortunate. Oh, that's Plum LBW. Stucks brought one into Rolifson. That's out. Okay. First ball to Richards. Oh, inside edge for 4. It's just his second match, I think, here for Josh Richards. Lyon is bowling well. Doing a great job for Australia. Oh, beautiful sneak. Carey gets a catch. Is it his first one in Test cricket? I think it is. It is indeed. Carey gets his first catch. He might even get a stumping, which he's only got 1 in his first class career. That is bizarre. I'm going to just have a look at that again. If you have a look here, Alex Carey, 1 career stumping in first class cricket. That really just speaks volumes about the lack of spinners in Australian first class cricket. I know I go on about it. I haven't really so far, but Australians just don't like playing spinners, and unless you can turn the ball a long way, then you're not really rated. So you have your Steve O'Keefe and John Holland bowlers, and even Ashton Agar to an extent, where people don't really class you as a proper spinner unless you are really a leg spinner and turning the ball a long way. As Hazelwood gets to Schwartz for 7. Which is why Australia has fascinations with leg spinners. And it took Australia a long time to warm to Nathan Lyon as well. They were hunting for the next Warne. So when Shane Warne retired, they cycled through about 13 spinners looking for the next Shane Warne. Cummins gets Richards. They just churned through them from 2007 when Warne retired through to about 2012 when Lyon made his debut. When was it? 2011. But they still used a couple of spinners around him as well. If I can get my thinking cap on, I will try and remember as many of them as I can for you. I'm just going to jog the memory bank quickly. Let's let Green on for another couple. It's quite hard sometimes to concentrate. and remember people as well. Green gets another wicket. It's been a great fight back from Australia because they were really 1 for 112 and now they've lost 7 wickets for 64 runs. So that's been a really good fight back. So let me see who they used. There was a leg spinner, Bryce McCain, who was about 36, who went to India and got smashed out of the attack. I'm not even sure if he got a wicket. They used Michael Beer in the Ashes, and then he had a match in the West Indies as well. They had Bo Casson, who was a very not very well known kind of left arm bowler from Western Australia. They used Stuart McGill afterwards. They used Jason Frazier. He was an off spinner. This Cummins Rabada got him. They used Nathan Horitz for a few years. He was a bit like Nathan Lyon, just a really unassuming off spinner. They used Cameron White in India for 4 matches when he used to be a bit like Steve Smith, where he was a leg spinning all-rounder, and then he morphed into a better batsman. They used... I'm trying to think of who else did they use during this time. They've used... I'm trying to think who else. Obviously Nathan Lyon. I've gone through Frazier. Gone through Michael Beer. Some more might come back to me. I'll try and remember throughout this video who else Australia used in the spin department. There were a few interesting choices. All right, just need this last wicket. Let's get Stark back in. Stark. Outside the line. I'm trying to really rack my brains now for some more Australian spinners in that era. Pretty much everybody got to go. Oh, Steve O'Keefe as well. So they played Steve O'Keefe, even though he kind of played after Nathan Lyon, but he got to go. John Holland got to go as well. A couple of tests. So quite a few spinners used since Shane Warne retired. But Lyon has now racked up 105 test matches. I missed his 100th test. I think someone suggested this as well, like milestones. So if you got 1,000, every 1,000 runs or every 100 wickets, there'd be a little pop-up saying, 100 test wickets or, 1,000 test runs. I think that'd be a pretty cool feature. So that was a good recommendation. 3 for Lyon, 2 for Green, 3 for Cummins, 1 each for Hazelwood and Stark. Sri Lanka, really, it was Rolofson with a 50. That was about it, with a good partnership with Yanaman Milan. Just love saying his name. It's exciting. All right, we're going to open. Maybe we could open with Carey and Burns. Even though it doesn't really open in first-class cricket. But, yeah, let's go Burns and Carey. And that way everyone else can really keep their positions as they are. All right. Let's have chances to... here, and it's the end of the day. I could have even picked... Sometimes people can open with a night watchman. I've seen that before, maybe like a Mitchell Stark or a Pat Cummins, who I keep forgetting to bat at 8 instead of 9. And these two can just block it out. So well done to finish the day 125 ahead in this first test match of 3. So we don't need to really be in any rush here. They've already moved to 1 slip pretty early. Quite defensive from the South Africans. They don't really have any spin either. I wonder if they'll change that for the second test. Maybe... I always get his name wrong as well, but it's like Pied or Pite or Pied, like P-I-E-D-T. He's probably their best spinner. Although every time I think South Africa have got a good player or two, they seem to coal pack up and leave off to England. So just it's hard to sometimes be familiar with the South African team because it does change so often. Definitely think a huge loss. Juan Olivier, the fast bowler, was a huge loss. He was, if you can imagine Olivier, Rabada, and Ngidi, that would be just such a great bowling attack. And then losing Simon Harmer, so I butchered that as well. But Simon Harmer, the leg spinner, he just spinning webs in the English season last year. he'd be great in the team as well. Riley Rousseau would probably be pushing for test selection. Hang on, I've noticed that they are missing Quinton de Kock out of this lineup, who I thought would be an absolute shoo-in to be the keeper over Rolfson. So, yeah, that's a little bit strange that de Kock is not in the lineup. Maybe over someone like Bavuma, who averages 30. That's very strange. Maybe he's injured. I'll have a look into it after this match. I was experimenting around with a little bit of a World 11, and he was my keeper in the World 11. So it's very surprising to not see him here. Burns holes out for 58, batting quite slowly, but that's okay. I'm going to push this lead out. We're still just over halfway through the test, so there's no rush. Absolutely no rush. Carey, can he make 100 on debut? Good time to make it would be just before the new ball. Oh, it's a good edge from Labuschagne. Only one slip. Carey 94. Oh, he's gone. No 100 for Carey today, but a really good 94 to put Australia in control. Just push some runs through before this new ball. Well, let's keep Labuschagne there. That's fine. Don't need to slow down too much, even though Smith is taking his sweet time and he doesn't want to get out. And that's the end of day 3. Gee, Steve Smith, 2 for 226. 58 Burns, 94 Carey, 55 Labuschagne. Smith, 8 off 72. He was definitely playing for stumps. Let's make him be a bit more aggressive this morning. 343, probably looked to bat for perhaps a session and a half. Oh, Labuschagne gone. Probably want to push this around 450. I have seen some Smith 100 balls for 13. That's ridiculous. Why are we batting so? Maybe the pitch is getting high. It's not slow though. The outfield's not slow. Head's gone. 7 off 40. He's not got to move on either. So slow, Australia. What's going on? Second innings. And Green's gone for 15. All right, Steve Smith, you're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive. This is a very slow innings. Still hasn't reached 50. Okay, we're going to look to bat for about half an hour. Smith's been dropped. We'll just swing hard. Which I do say that, and it didn't really seem to make too much difference. Push it up towards 500. I think 500. Sometimes I like, Smith goes for 93. Sometimes I like the score being like a nice round target to chase. Although if we lose another wicket here, that's probably... I'll probably declare. Actually, I probably should just declare now. Let's have one last little blast. Oh, that's out. Didn't really help. Should have just declared then. All right, 7 for 369 declared. South Africa need 486 to win. Stuck in the first over. Oh, it's just missing the off stump. Rolfson. So thanks for joining me for this series as well. I've really appreciated the people who tune in every single day to watch. It's been amazing. There's a core group of people who are tuning in and commenting, and I know there's also a little group of people as well who are tuning in every day who aren't commenting below, and that's okay as well. Just the fact that you are watching is amazing. So just love it. If you're enjoying the video, just flick a quick like down below, love a comment, and I will reply. And subscriptions have been going really well as well. They are creeping up about 4 to 5 a day, which is just really amazing. So hopefully during this India save, they will continue to nudge up. Zimbabwe beat Afghanistan. That is really bizarre. Brendan, That is pretty solid indeed. Ryan Burl with a 60. Case Ahmed took 9 wickets. What did Rashid Khan do? 1 for 60. 3 for 66. And India beat England as well. Getting back into form, India, after a disappointing Australian series. Okay, we are... Where are we up to? 454 to win. Also, if you're watching this far into the video... Oops, why wasn't the highlights on? I am planning to... Well, I've got a little bit more time over the next week or so just to intermittently have some other ideas and videos of mine as well. So I'll still be releasing these Cricket Captain videos. Run out. Not out. Releasing these Cricket Captain videos. I believe it's like 11 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and that from where you are around the world. But I'll also be releasing some videos alternatively throughout the day as well, just some ideas that I have. So I still have recent game pickups 3, which I haven't released, and I'm also wanting to upload. I've recorded me going through my PlayStation Vita collection, so that's quite interesting as well, as Green gets a wicket of Rolofson. So when I do those up, if you would fancy watching those, they'll be up as well. I've got a few other ideas. I did play through WWF SmackDown Just Bring It with all the characters, and the plan then was to play through all the SmackDown series, so I haven't really continued that lately as I've been into Cricket Captain. Sadly, I can't go on to Shut Your Mouth, which is the next game, because the disc got stuck in my broken PS3, and that's stuck in, so I'd probably have to move on to Here Comes the Pain. And while I try and track down another copy, not always easy to find PlayStation 2 games. Oh, no ball. Not always easy to find PlayStation 2 games out in the wild, like specific ones that you're looking for. You might see a whole bundle, but if there's one game you really want, they're kind of hard to have a look at. And I did go to a retro game store the other day, but there wasn't a copy there. So that's a bit of a shame. However, I did pick up some new games that I've been looking forward to playing as well, which I think I did mention on one of these other videos. Bavuma gone for 41 to Line, 360 to win. Line's doing a great job. It's the end of day 4. They've got 1 day left, 360 to win, 6 wickets for Australia to get. I'm looking forward to playing... I mean, I don't know if I'll make a video of it or not, but I bought the first Forza Horizon, which I've never played. I've played 2, 3, and 4, which they are amazing, and I can never ever find number 1 for a good price. It was always quite expensive, so I found it for just $6, so I picked that up, which I thought was a pretty good buy. I got some old FIFAs. Yeah, another idea that I have is to... you can find them on my channel, but I've played a lot of the early Pro Evo games, and just to do the intro from every Pro Evo, and also play play England versus Germany from every Pro Evo. So I got a few of those games on the PS4. I haven't uploaded those yet. Cricket videos as well. So another idea of mine is to play through after Cricket Captain, or maybe at the same time, but is to play through all the cricket games that I've got. So I actually have a game on the... I think it's on the Spectrum, but I've got no way of playing it. Just called Cricket. It's called Cricket Master. But I've got Super International Cricket on the Super Nintendo, if you've ever played that game. So I can hook that up and capture some footage from that game as well. Plus, I've been collecting some on the PlayStation 1. So I have got Cricket 2000. I have Shane Warne Cricket 99, and I actually also have Brian Lara Cricket 99. They're actually the exact same game, just with some different rebranding. So I'd like to play some more cricket. I've got Cricket 2002, Cricket 2004, which when I some videos up of a couple of games, just of the computer playing each other. There was no commentary back then because I didn't have a microphone, but I was just kind of experimenting with my capture card, seeing what it could do. Might give Labuschagne a couple. So there's a couple of Cricket 2004 videos on there, but I plan through playing that. I've got Ricky Ponting 2005, Ricky Ponting 2007. And they've got Cricket 2007. I'm not sure if they're the same game or not. I'll have to do some research on those. A couple for the PS3 as well. And they've got some PS4 games, Don Bradman Cricket, Ashes Cricket, Cricket 19, Big Bash Boom as well, which I might do some gameplay for. So they're just a few of the many ideas that I've got for the channel. So if there's anything out of there you're really keen on, just let me know and I'll try and make that a little bit of a priority. Let's give Head a little bowl. Get the new ball going. We've got a session and a half to go. So I have so many ideas. However, I do want to do ideas that people actually want to watch. So some of my earlier videos are really strange because some will have 10 views and I thought it was a good idea or a cool game to play, and then that's LB. And then some of my other videos have hundreds of views and I thought no one would be interested in like Mary King's writing challenge, but people are watching it. Or another game which I played, which is called Kart Challenge, which is just a really terrible kart game on the PS1, and lots of people have watched that as well. So yeah, things I thought were popular sometimes haven't been. I played some Sonic and no one's watched that, but that's all good. As we wrap up the first test, Lungi and Geedy's, the wickets are all shared around. Pretty clinical performance from Australia, getting back into the winning ways. 321 in the first innings, despite losing Warner. Joe Burns, 86 in the first innings. He's the man of the match. How many did he get in the second innings? 58, so good performance from him. Labuschagne, 51. Nortje took a fifer. South Africa started well, but collapsed. I think they lost their last, have a look, 9 for 90. How many did they get there? 93. So 9 for 93 is not great. Wickets were shared out by the Australians. Australia replied very strongly, 7 for 369. Carey and Smith doing a great job, despite Smith being 8 off 72 balls. He actually then pretty much went at a run a ball. Let's have a look at that again. Yeah, very slow, and then cranked it up. Carey 94 on debut. Ngidi took 4, and then South Africa could make 223 with Richards making 88 not out, and the wicket shared again. So there is a win for Australia. Let's have a look at the Test Championship. I wonder, maybe, it's another thought, I might record the final of the Test Championship even if it is next year. So I might do that before the Indian save, because we're nearly at the Test Championship, which looks at this stage to be between Australia and New Zealand, unless India win all of their matches against England. All right, second test though. Second test indeed. While we're here, let's have a little look at the test rankings. So Ollie Pope third in the world, Steve Smith 3, Kohli 4, Vihari 5, Head, Sharma, Labuschagne, Root, Agarwal to round out the top 10. It's pretty much all England, Australia and India at the top, and bowling, Bumrah far and away the leader, Stark second, Neil Wagner third, Shinwari from Pakistan fourth, Paddy Cummins 5, Shannon Gabriel from the West Indies 6, Lyon, Case Ahmed, Trent Bolt, Kemar Roach. Alright, let's start this second test. I'm going to get Nick Maddinson is going to replace David Warner at the top of the order. He's waited a long time. He played 3 test matches against South Africa a few years ago and looked very ordinary indeed. Lost his contract for, I believe he was playing for New South Wales. So let's have a look. A couple of years ago. Not this, the year before this, lost his contract, ended up moving to Victoria, averaged really well in the 70s, and now in my game he is back in Australian colours, and I forgot to give him the batting. Okay, let's see if we can wrap up this test series. What happened last time in South Africa? Australia and South Africa lost 3-1. Oh yes, Sandpaper Gate. Yes, I remember. I think they lost that last test match by 600 runs or something ridiculous. It was horrible. So yes, how could I forget the last series in South Africa? I did indeed. All right, so Carey's going to go back to 7. Warner's going to be replaced by Nick Maddinson at the top of the order. So you got Nick Maddinson, who's a left-hander, Burns, who's a right-hander. Whoops. So nice left to right combo. Yeah, I like the look. Head just very unassuming in at 5, gets the job done. I like the bowlers. They've done pretty well this year. I'd say the pitch looks like a road. And let's see if we can go heads. Have South Africa changed anyone? Milan, I think it's the same 11. Looks like the same 11 for me. So no spinners for the South Africans. I tend to find if you're playing this, just alternate between, if you win the toss, just keep alternating between heads and tails, and you always seem to win the toss. So you can go tails and heads and tails. It just seems to flip every time. Not every time, but if you, like in the third test, I'll pick tails again, and I reckon I will win the toss again. So let's bat. Let's watch the first 10. Let's see if we can get 2-0 up in the series. I might go a little bit quicker in this second match than the first match. Here's Joe Burns. Oh, smashed. Huge 6. Another 6. 2 6s in the over. Nortier has gone for 2 6s, and he's very in the second over of the game. Maddinson aggressive. Looking to improve on that average of, it looked like it was 6.75 before. It's already improving. Oh no! Oh, it's Burns. Still don't want to lose Burns, but we want Nick Maddinson to make a big score. Oh, that's run out. Oh, no. Nick Maddinson, what have you done? He's called the run through. Labuschagney's gone. 2 down early. Can South Africa fight back and make this 1-all? Which would make for a thrilling third test. If not, I haven't really played many test series. I had 2 against Bangladesh, 1 against Afghanistan, and 4 against India. So there's been, 7, 10 for the year, which is not, it's probably Australia's fewest tests you're going to find in this game. I did play a very exciting Afghanistani save. First year was great, and then the second year was okay, but kind of by the second year and third year, you start going down to 2 tests a year, so you don't actually get to play. You generally will just have 2 tests against Zimbabwe or Ireland, and so after a couple of years, it does get a little bit boring. Which is a shame because it was a really exciting save, and Rashid Khan and Qais Ahmed were completely dominating in the spin department, and there was some exciting batsmen like Dawish Razuli coming through as well, and Hazratullah Zazai just really lighting up the test matches in that first year. Smith for 36, Trav Head, he just needs to just cruise on. It's Nick Maddinson, he's on his way to 100. Don't want to put the mocker on him. That's a kind of Australian saying. Just to, if you say he's doing well, he'll get out. Kind of like jinxing someone really, or the commentator's curse. There's his 100. Big 100 for Nick Maddinson. A first test 100. Outstanding. There it is. Raised the bat. Opening the batting for Australia. Finally gets his Test match 100, first 50 or 100 of any format for Australia. He's played a few T20s. It hasn't really got much of a go. Really just 45 runs in 6 games. Alright. Needs to push on. Get what is sometimes referred to as a daddy 100, which is a big 100. Not just get to 100 and get out, but really push on and bat all day with Cam Green. Sorry if I call him Chris Green. Just love Chris Green though, one of my favourite players. Oh, he's made 18s, just chipping in. Carey gone. Turn the highlights off. Sneak to second slip. Mitchy Stark's got a support. Probably should have put Pat Cummins in again. Oh, Madison's gone. It's not really a great score for Australia. It's only 200-ish. Can the tail push it to 300? Stark and Cummins are an excellent pair down below. They can really just grind in as Cummins gets out, Stark gets out. So I think it's game on indeed. Almost don't mind if I get out because there's an over or 2 to bowl. How many overs? 1. Well, it didn't really matter that much, but it's Mitchell Stark, and he does bowl a good first over. Let's see if there's a chance. Oh, maiden. So 278. Here's the 5th test match. India doing well. Oh, look at Rohit go. Oh, amazing. How has Kohli been going? Let's have a quick look at everyone. How been going? Rohit, good. Gee, they've had a good test series against England. They might just sneak into the test final if they win all the games. All right, Hazelwood. Here he is. Let's keep Stark aggressive. I thought that was a snick. It'll be interesting if South Africa can get a win here in this match and push the 3rd test to a decider. Australia have not got a very good first innings score, so they do need to bowl well. Oh, who dropped it? Oh, devastating. Cam Green bowled a ripper. No wickets. We need Lyon. Where's the saviour? Nathan Lyon. I'm just going to bowl Nathan Lyon here to lunch on the first day. That's pretty disappointing. No wickets. No wickets at all in the first session. This is game on. None for 100, South Africa. None for 100. Hazelwood going for a few. Gee, I'm going to get Lyon on. I need Lyon on to get a wicket. Rolifson's been batting too long. That's going down leg side. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. South Africa generally a pretty strong batting lineup. Rolifson's got to a test 100. It's his first one. Just his 3rd test. Come on, Lyon. Can he make the breakthrough? None for 175. That's down leg as well. Chances few and far between from the Australians. There's a catch. Lyon with a huge caught and bowled. If you've ever seen that big diving caught and bowled that he's done, that's amazing. Kind of reminded me of that. Break on through. Lyon could be the key. I'm just going to keep him on for a while. Going to keep him on. Let's get Pat Cummins hasn't bowled that much. I'll just rotate the quicks through for maybe 2 overs each here before the tea break. Just have a little rotation with Lyon from one end. It's what Australia used to do so well in the 90s. Why they were so good as Lyon picks up his second is Shane Warne would just hold up one end and just be bowling so aggressively all the time, and then they would just rotate through McGrath and Gillespie and whoever the 3rd bowler was, if it was Rifle or Andy Bickle or Kaspervitz, or some people that I'm forgetting, Stuart Clark or Brett Lee. How did I forget Brett Lee? So Brett Lee used to go for runs, but he was aggressive. So Australia were just aggressive all the time. In the 90s and early 2000s, they just did not have in their game plan. When they batted, they were very aggressive as well. Hayden Langer up the top, Ponting, Martin, just absolutely great players. Here's my man Lyon. He's going to get a whole bunch of wickets. I'm going to keep him on after the tea break as well. He's got Bavuma for 7, getting Australia right back into this match. Let's get Stark in for a couple, maybe even just 1 aggressive over. 2 aggressive, I think. Oh, there we go. Lyon has got all the wickets. He's just going to bowl 10 of these next 20 until the new ball is due. And yeah, I'll keep going with Stark. I'll just make him less aggressive. Alright, come on Stark. Catch. Yeah, it's a nice catch in the outfield. He was doing well. Now I think I almost need to take him off for a couple. I am just going to take him off just for a couple here. Alright, now bring him back on. Nathan Lyon. South Africa are ahead. It's a little bit of a worrying sign. We'll open with Stark and Cummins, so we'll leave Hazelwood on. Oh, it's a shame that mine couldn't get any more wickets. Probably should have bowled Cam Green there. Just forgot. Alright, 39 minutes. Can Australia do some damage with a new ball? De Schwartz hold out to Labuschagne. Bold Mitchell Stark. The name's just rolling off the tongue. First ball to Nortje. Pitched outside leg. It's not very helpful. Here's Pat Cummins. Australia are very good at cleaning up the tail. Nortje's gone. Second ball for a duck. Rabada. He's gone. Oh, it's a run out attempt. Weird. I thought he was going to edge that ball. Cummins. Here's Stark. Alright, this is setting up for an absolute thrilling finish to this game. Cummins to Rabada. They're 47 ahead, so Australia's going to have to work really hard to erase this deficit and then try and set South Africa an interesting target. Last over of the day, we'll get Lyon back on. Feel bad I haven't given Cam Green much of a bowl, but Australia started getting behind. There's his 5-wicket haul. Can he get 6 with the last ball of the day? South Africa 3-3-3. That's out. That's got to be out. Surely it's hit middle and leg straight in front. 6 wickets for Nathan Lyon. Last ball of the day. Yeah, that looked pretty plumb to me. Gone. So Lungi Ngidi gone for a duck. 6 for 90 for Nathan Lyon, and that is his 21st 5-wicket haul in tests. He has 434. Gee, don't say that against South Africa. We don't like the number 434 against South Africa. If you remember that one-day international where Australia made 434 and South Africa chased it down, making 438. 9 wickets down in, again, what's probably called the greatest one-day international of all time. However, the Cricket World Cup 2019 final is probably the greatest, followed by, in my opinion, the semi-final of the 99 World Cup, Australia-South Africa, as well. 3 excellent games. So Australia behind by 55. And they'll need some more contributions than just Nick Maddinson to set South Africa a good score. Joe Burns gone early again. It's not very helpful. Labuschagne, not a good game. 1 and a duck. Alright, the South Africans making this a very competitive series. Can Australia settle down with a really good partnership? Not a cloud in sight in South Africa. I don't know where we're playing. Let's just say we're playing at Johannesburg, because just that's what I've picked out of my head. Alright, Mulder in. This could be a series-defining partnership. Maddinson and Steve Smith. Steve Smith is going nowhere in a hurry. He's just going to bat at his own pace. Here's Travis Head. Australia just 70 ahead. Head's gone. Cam Green, a lot required of Cam Green now. Just 19 so far for an average. Steve Smith is just going to anchor in. Who's going to get me out, he says, like the 2019 Ashes, where it was almost impossible to get Steve Smith out. He's digging in for his country, just like Alan Border used to do, just like Steve Waugh used to do. It's a feature of Australian captains. They'll just dig in, and setting a good score. I think anything over 250 is going to be very, very competitive. Could be setting up for a good finish. Smith's got 100. I wasn't even watching. I was too busy watching Cameron Green. 115 for Steve Smith as the new ball's been taken. 6 overs to go. I'm not going to worry about defending and staying in. We need every run. What a partnership. This has been an absolute game changer. 126 between Steve Smith and Cam Green. Smith is not worried about how many balls he's faced. 273. Same for Green. They have been batting for... Let's turn this off so I can actually see. They've been batting since about the 43rd over, so they've batted nearly 50 overs together. And gone. First over the next day. So if they can get these last 5 wickets for about 40 runs, it's going to be very achievable. I think we're set for a really good finish to this game. Don't go anywhere. Hold on to your hats. Hold on to your hair. Just hold on to your head. Screen's gone for 61. I think Australia over 300 is going to be good. Stark's gone. All right, let's just get Carey a little bit more aggressive. That's really good. Pushing it closer to 350. They're pushing the game away from South Africa here. This partnership, Carey's gone for 87. Let's push for some quick runs at the end. Nathan Lyon just going to have a swing of the bat. 350 to get. A nice round figure. What a partnership here from Smith and Green. And then a nice little 50-run stand between Carey and Stark. And Carey did most of the work with a rapid 87. 51 for Maddinson. Very handy again to back up his 100 in the first inning. Smith 129. Green 61. Carey 87. Gee, it looks a bridge too far for South Africa. Looks like they were only going to chase 250 at one stage. But they need 351 to tie the series and keep the series alive. If they do, it will be very exciting. They've got 4.5 sessions to do it in. I don't think time will be an issue. I think it will come down to wickets and runs. I think a draw's out of the equation as Milan is gone. It looks to be about 50 runs too many. There's 2 quick ones. Rossi van der Dusen is out. Bavuma could be out for... Oh, just hit him above the knee roll. He's a short man though, so above the knee roll for him. Probably still hitting the stumps. Oh, it was cleaned up. Rolofsson. South Africa 3 for 18. The series is fading quickly. Going to keep Stark on. 3 for 19. Disaster for South Africa. Probably thought they were a good chance in the second innings. I know 350 was a lot, but at least to challenge. Richards is gone. 4 for 19. South Africa are hoping for some resistance, otherwise this could get very embarrassing very quickly. Whoops, I meant to put Pat Cummins on. There's another sneak. 5 for 27. It's all falling apart for South Africa. It's all coming down very quickly indeed in this second innings. Who can put a few runs on the board? Generally, you'll find there's a little bit of resistance. It's quite rare for a team to get bowled out extremely cheaply. But Lions 6 wickets in the first innings. Few chances, nothing really sticking. Let's get Stark back in. So a little partnership here between Bavuma and Mulder. Let's get Green on. It's been a long time since he's had a bowl, actually. All right, and let's get Paddy Cummins in. Holding on. 2 overs left. Let's let Labuschagne have a bowl. And I'm going to give Nick Maddinson one, the last over, just for fun. Alright, 5 for 107. Let's get Stark back on here. They need to hold out a whole day with 5 wickets. I don't see that happening. They are digging in for a long time. There's the wicket we were looking for. Hazelwood gets Mulder. It's been a long time. Those two batted together for over 2 hours. I thought they were going to both be out in the same over. That happens. It's so often that happens. 2 batsmen bat for a long time, and then as soon as one gets out, the next one gets out straight away. Just kind of waiting for the inevitable, really, for South Africa. 4 wickets to wrap up the series. It's a bit of a slog here on day 5. Cummins gets a wicket. Probably want to give Cam Green another little bit of a bowl. They dug in for a little while. Cummins gets a wicket. Not Cummins, that's Lyon. So thanks so much for watching today. Remember, tomorrow it's the 3rd test, and then it's 3 T20s against New Zealand. And then I'll have a look at playing the World Test Championship final, even if I don't play the matches before it, even if I just play them unrecorded, or maybe I'll record them, and then I really want to see the World Test final. Will probably be the final video of this Australia save. and then on to the let's give Smith a couple, and then on to the kind of India one-off test, and then the India save. Maybe they've got 2 sessions to survive. I'm going to try and get Hazelwood a 5-wicket haul. They've dug in for a lot of overs. Well, let's let Green keep going. Let's even get another wicket. He has last wicket here. Lungi Ngidi comes in. Not a strong test average, just 4.62. Hazelwood. Oh, it's down leg. Finishes the test match. Bowling Ngidi. Australia win the series. Redeem themselves from a few years prior going to South Africa. That is the match summary. Australia win by 162 runs. The match was actually a lot closer than that. 278 from Australia in the first innings. Were behind after a magnificent century from Rolifson, supported by Milan for 81. Lyon was the star with 6 for 90. Australia really hung in that second innings, and it was really the Smith-Green partnership and the Carey-Cummins partnership for the South Africans. They started terribly at 5 for 27. The game was all done, but Bavuma dug in along with Mulder just to stretch out the agony, and Hazelwood took 5 for 38. Man of the match, Nick Maddinson for his century, and he made 51 in the second innings. So let's have a quick look. England beat India. Now this could be decisive in the World Test Championship. So if India missed out, it could be this innings here with Dom Sibley getting a 101 to see England over the line. So we've got one more series. Let's have a quick look before we go. We're off to Pretoria, but let's have a look at the World Test Championship. India have snuck in by 6 points. That is incredible. I think they won 4 of the matches of that series as well. Let's have a look. Let's just look here. It's easier. It's easier to do it this way. India. Let's go back a series. Yeah, India. So they snuck in by beating England in 4 test matches. It's probably why they lost the last one. So if you want to see what I'm going to play in the India save, we've got some one-dayers and T20s in Sri Lanka, 3 one-dayers in Zimbabwe, 3 one-dayers and 3 T20s in England. Then it's 3 against Australia. Then it's the World Cup. So no test matches. The first test match series is this one that I played against Australia. Then they're off to India for 5 test matches. Or they're off to England. England in India. So England are visiting. And then some one-days against Afghanistan. Playing Sri Lanka. We're back to the start. Whoops. Only 8 series, so not that long. Okay, well, that is going to be the end of the video today. Still can't believe India have snuck in there. New Zealand are done. So it will be Australia versus India in the Test Championship final. So have a great evening. Tune in. If you haven't, flick a quick like at the bottom. Send me a comment. And see you tomorrow for the 3rd Test and 3 T20s versus New Zealand. See you later.